Hello, snakes! My name is Dante, and today it's Podcast Tuesday once again, and so we have a new deck tech, which is my legacy deck tech, which is Burn. And yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to the GP Bologna in Italy, which is legacy GP. So yeah, it's going to be cool. And so I would like to present to you my legacy deck, which I'm going to play at the legacy tournament. And yeah, it's going to be fun. I actually like legacy. Wait. Yeah, I like legacy. It's quite cool. And so the deck I'm playing will be mono red burn. So I'll be talking about the main deck and the sideboard and why running those. So let's get to card 21, or yeah, literally the first card. Yeah, card 21. We got our anti-life gain card, Sulfuric Vortex. There's one in the main board and one in the sideboard. So yeah, we're already jumping into the sideboard, but yeah, since this is in both, we just have this is the first card. It's main board and yeah, and it's really good because it can disable those show and tell decks, any Oko decks, and just continuously damage the players. Yes, it hits you, but important part, no one can gain life. You don't gain life, so you don't care about this effect. You just disable those Griselbrand players, which is basically show and tell and Reanimator, because those are the decks that play Griselbrand. Yeah, it's quite cool, and Sulfuric Vortex is a really good card to stop those. We have one in sideboard in case we go up against one of those show and tell decks, and one in the main just in case. And just because it's plain power. If your opponent doesn't have life gain, remove it when sideboarding. If they do, put another Sulfuric Vortex in. So game 1 you always have one Vortex. Game 2 might depend on what you're playing against. It could be 2 Vortex or no Vortex. Or if they have a few cards of life gain but not 0 and not a lot, just leave one. It's not going to be bad. Or if you have nothing to sideboard against your opponent, like for example they're playing a unique deck or something like that, then there's one Sulfuric Vortex in game 2 and game 3. I don't know. Anyway, a good way to practice legacy, like what I was doing those days, I was practicing burn deck. Yes, you can go to an LGS, but the thing is that if there are no legacy players or there's no legacy tournament, you can always always play MTG online and practice your legacy deck. Because that's how I was practicing legacy, because legacy is not really my format. Like, I mainly play modern, but I'm also good at legacy. So it's I didn't play legacy much, so to know the meta, I just have to play MTG online. And it's not that hard because cards are usually cheaper online, and not just that, but you can always, and for those expensive cards, you can always use stuff like mana traders or card hoarder, where you can just rent those cards. So, or just borrow them and just give them back. It's, yeah, it's, both options are usually cheap. Like, just buy the cheap cards and then just rent the expensive ones or borrow them. Yeah. Yeah, the best thing to use for lending and borrowing is mana traders. Yeah. Either way, it's time for our next card, the card 20. So, I'll be casting a sneaking. Oh, hi Liz, how are you? So, I'll be casting a sneaking show. So then I can put in a Grizzlebrand to kill the opponent. Surprise! You're dead. Fire Blast! That's our number 20. We got 3 copies in the main, because we're currently talking about main board. Fire Blast. So we got 3 copies, and it's really surprise burn. No one really expects it. It's... Oh, thanks. That's good. Well, Fire Blast. It's 6 mana instant, but you never pay the 6 mana. Because you can sacrifice 2 mountains instead of paying its mana cost. And deals 4 damage to any target. It's actually quite strong, because they can just throw a lot of damage. Like, because it's practically a free burn spell, but the thing is that you need to sacrifice 2 lands. They can be tapped, so if you're tapped out, you can go like Fire Blast! Or like Surprise Burn. Like, that's why I call it Surprise Burn. No one expects it from a tapped out player. No one expects getting burned. And yeah. It's really good. Like, when the opponent just gets careless with, say for example, Grizzlebrand, and then just... Thanks, yeah. Well, not just that, but... What are the drop frames? Not just that, but the thing is that it... like, if they get careless, and then you're tapped out, because since you're tapped out, they think you have nothing to do against them. Like, they're like, say for example, they're 10 life, and then they just pay 7. So in response to them activating the ability, so they activate, they pay the 7 life, but before they draw the 7, Fire Blast. So they're free, and you just kill them. Like, they're like, oh no, what? They just need Force of Will, or just some kind of counterspell to save themselves. Force of Will, Spell Snare... No, not Spell Snare. Force of Will, Daze, Flusterstorm, Force Spike. Yeah. Or Spell Pierce, yeah. Yeah, Spell Snare's a different card. I think Spell Snare's banned. Oh, no, wait. It's not banned in Legacy, it's banned in Modern, the Spell Snare. But the thing is that Spell Snare can't counter Fire Blast, because Fire Blast is 6 mana, and Spell Snare only counters 2 mana spells. We got our next card. There's no better way to build suspense than Riftbolt. Riftbolt is just yet another burn spell. 4 copies of it. It's 3 mana sorcery, deals 3 damage to any target. So yeah, of course this is much better than Precision Bolt because on top of that you can suspend 1 for 1 red. Well yeah, Precision Bolt, of course it's bad in every way. Well, that's why nobody plays that card. But Riftbolt is a really good card because Riftbolt says because it can be 1 mana bolt, so then you cast next turn. It also goes well with Monastery, so spear triggers because if you cast Riftbolt on your upkeep, that's 1 trigger. Cast multiple burn spells, that's more triggers, and then it gets big Monastery, so spear. And yeah, it's quite cool. It's good card. Also, but the thing is, it gives a warning to your opponent for what they play. So like, you have this in the suspend exile zone. They, for example, wouldn't cast a Mother of Runes, say for example, because it would get shot by Riftbolt. Or just Stoneforge Mystic, because it can get shot by Riftbolt. Or drop. Or say for example, it could drop. They're not going to drop what else? Oh yeah. No. Yeah. Just any annoying creature they won't drop because of Riftbolt and suspense. So then they slow down a turn because they don't want their thing to get bolted. And yeah, that's actually quite good. But Riftbolt. Let's get to our next card. 18. We got our fast creature, another hasty creature. Well, not another, our first hasty creature in this podcast. Hello, Fire Ballard. How are you? Thanks. I like playing Burn in all formats. Like, I play Burn in Standard, Modern, Legacy, Pauper. I might play Burn in Pioneer, but I might instead. But I'm not sure if I'm playing Burn in Pioneer. I might instead play Golos Maze Ascend in Pioneer. But yeah, every format, Burn. And it's good, yeah. And it's a really good deck. And yeah. Yeah, it's good. Well, Goblin Guide is good because like 1 mana 2/2, which is above average. Haste. But but the downside, which might not always be a downside, when it attacks, defending player flips the top card of the deck. Oh yeah. And if it's land, they get into hand. So it flaws when the opponent gets land. But otherwise, you know what they're getting. Which is good. That's why Goblin Guide is played in burn decks. Yeah. And that's why I like Goblin Guide. Yeah. It's always good to have. And that's one. Hey, oh shoot, Chain Lightning, 3 damage to you. Do you want to throw it back? Nah, I'm okay. Exactly! That never happens. They never throw it back. They never throw back Chain Lightning. Because if they throw back, you can throw back at them. And they probably won't be able to throw back at you again. But hey, we got Chain Lightning. We got 4 copies and it's yet another bolt. No one really cares about the chain effect. It's just 1 red sorcery deals 3 damage to any target. Then the target can pay 2 red and then they can copy Chain Lightning and throw it at anything. So ow, what? My finger snapped. I don't know. Well, Chain Lightning is quite good. It's part of those chain spells, like where the chain spells where you like throw something, or you cast something, and then the target can cast a copy. Also, the thing is that Chain Lightning and Lightning Bolt have similar arts. So yeah, the Chain Lightning art there is not the same art as the art in the background. The art in the background is Lightning Bolt, which is actually our next card. And yeah, that's my all-time favorite and always the best card to have in a burn deck. The Lightning Bolt. 4 copies. And the main bolt. The best card in this deck is the Lightning Bolt. And the thing is that this podcast does not go by order of best cards. It goes by order of yeah. It goes by order of Ah, hola, Mónica. ¿Cómo estás? Oh yeah. Not just that, but the thing is that yes, I do have old bolt. I do have old bolt. I have I'm not sure if it's revised bolt or unlimited bolt in my deck. But the thing is that it's damaged. Yeah. I have lots of bolts. I have like 4 of the I have like 4 M10 bolts, 4 M11 bolts. Muchas gracias. Thanks. Yeah. Also yeah, I've like have the a few of the old bolts with the white border. Like 2 of those, I think, or 3. I have like 4 of M10 art, 4 of M11. Oh yeah, 4 of M10, 4 of M11, and 4 non-foil GP promos and 4 foil GP promos. Yeah. Because now this year, for all of the GPs, it's going to be the promo is Lightning Bolt throughout the whole year for every Magic Fest. It was always Lightning Bolt our promo, and yeah, it's quite good. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Well, okay, so yeah. I don't have foreign black borders. I not black borders. I have white board. I I had the white border ones. I don't have foreign cards. Like I don't have the foreign black border, foreign white border. It was just the English lightning bolt. Just not foreign. It would be cool to have it would be cool to have a Spanish lightning bolt, which in Spanish it's called relámpago. And yeah, and it's time for our next card. How annoying does it? Oh, yeah, yeah. Fair point. Yeah, I could buy some Italian cards, and yeah. Also, not just that, but good thing is when I'm going to Bologna, I'm going to buy some mystery boosters, so then I can get my hands on the playtest cards, and yeah, it's going to be cool. Hopefully, I can unbox them on my channel, or I could just just unbox them in the channel, or just play the mystery drafts. Yeah, and so yeah. So how annoying does it feel to play, like when you're playing against your opponents and they have all the expensive lands? They just have all the volcanic islands and tundras and bayous, and like they're always just using all of those pro expensive cards, and like how can they afford such stuff? And like when you're only just playing 20 mountains, here you go, Price of Progress, punish them for non-basics, 3 copies of those, by the way. Yeah, and yeah, so just punish them for having expensive decks and stuff. Well, yeah, that's it's quite funny when because it's 2 mana instant. Price of Progress deals damage to each player, therefore it doesn't target, equal to twice the number of non-basic lands that player controls. And yeah, it's really good and annoying at the same time. So yeah. What? Wait. What? Something must have happened. Okay, well yeah. 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 Yeah, yeah. Okay, well yeah. Let's do this, yeah. Okay, so well, it's really good because they always play those non-basics, and yeah, it's really really good, the Price of Progress. And like so yeah. Oh yeah, I used to play 4, but I realized that I had like 61 cards in there, so I had to remove one, and like there you go. Hello, Yusra. How are you? Welcome back. And also, yeah, thing is that Price of Progress, like, you know how they play those wastelands and they have no function against you? Well, if you play Price of Progress, they can just wasteland their own land, but the thing is that, so then they just lose to non-basics before that spell resolves, so it deals less damage or no damage at all. Yes, they lose 2 lands, but they probably have stuff to retrieve them, like Life from the Loam. Ren and Sitz is banned in Legacy now, so they can't use Ren. They can use Life from the Loam, but also there's players using like fetch lands and Fable Passages and Prismatic Vistas and stuff like that. So then they can always fetch for basics. So then they have less non-basics, because if they have less non-basics, that's less stuff for Price of Progress to affect, or less stuff for Wasteland to destroy. Oh, by the way, there is a new card called Wasteland from the Mystery Boosters, which is just like Wasteland, but it gives the controller a basic waste. Yes. Next card. Let's throw them another spike. And another spike. And wait, what's the arcane function for? Ignore that part. It's yet another bolt. 4 copies. Lava Spike. Lava Spike deals 3 damage to target player or planeswalker. Yeah, it's really, really good. And it's, for some reason, it's more expensive than Lava Spike. It's because, I think it's because Lava Spike had less printings than Lightning Bolt. Like, the only printings were the common in Champions of Kamigawa. What Kamigawa set exactly? Wait, it wasn't a Kamigawa set. So yeah. So Lava Spike was in Modern Masters 1. Champions of Kamigawa, yes. Both common, but uncommon in Ultimate Masters. In Ultimate Masters, yeah, it only had 3 printings compared to Lightning Bolt, which Lightning Bolt alone before 2000, like before the new millennium, like even before the new millennium, Lightning Bolt was printed more than 3 times. Like, it was printed like Alpha, Beta, Unlimited, Revised, 4th edition. 4th edition? I think it was printed 4th edition. And like, they had lots of printings, also M10, M11, and now 2019 GP promo. Yeah, Magic Fest promo. Because you can get them from MCQs and WrittenInstone Modern. Because WrittenInstone Modern, or just WrittenInstone Events, instead of giving you a promo basic land for participation, they give you non-foil Bolt. And if they have and if you play in an MCQ or GP, well, in Japan they give you non-foil, but when I was in England in Birmingham, they gave me foil one. And you always get foil for GP. But now in Bologna, it's going to be foil Arcbound Ravager. I'm not sure if it's going to replace Bolt or if it's going to be in addition to the Bolt. I don't know. I don't know what Channel Fireball is thinking. But whatever it is, it's either way, it's going to be really cool. I have like lots of bolts already, so getting some Arcbound Ravagers is good because I don't have any, and they're quite expensive. Next one. So, how annoying does it feel when your burn spell gets countered by a Force of Will or a Daze or just any type of counter spell? How annoying does it feel? Well, guess what? There is this burn spell which can't be countered. 3 mana, so we got 4 copies of it. It's Exquisite Firecraft. Or Exquisite Firecraft. Hello, Alexia. Welcome back. How are you? Yeah. It's Exquisite or Exquisite. Yeah, just there's 2 ways of pronouncing it, I think. Yeah, there's 3 mana, sorcery, deals 4 damage to any target. Spell Mastery, which you will always have, which means if there's 2 or more instants and or sorceries in your graveyard, can't be countered. Yeah. It's really good because most of the time it's uncounterable, so they just never counter it. There's this one time I played a counterable Exquisite Firecraft and it got countered by Force of Negation. But in most cases scenario, this won't get countered. Remember that. Next card. Elf deck? Artifact deck? Cheap stuff deck? Removal magnet? Eidolon of the Great Revel. 4 copies of it. It's known as a removal magnet because the thing is that, first of all, taking damage due to Eidolon is quite annoying. So they most of the time will try to counter it. Or not counter it. Well, yeah, they can counter it. Or just kill it. So then they take damage. But if they try to kill it, then they waste 1 card and take 2 damage. Because at its lowest, it would have done 2 damage. But removed an opponent's removal. Yes, it does hurt you. But probably will hurt the opponent more. And you don't care about life totals. And Eidolon's just plain power. It's also an enchantment, so it can get disenchanted or erased or stuff like that. Anything that just kills enchantments. Yeah. But 4 copies. The thing is that since Pioneer came out, its price went up. Like, Goblin Guide used to be the... Goblin Guide used to be the expensive part of Burn. But now it's Eidolon because of the price rise. Like, a Pioneer just... Because Eidolon's Pioneer legal, you see? Journey into Nits. Since it came after Return to Ravnica, it's Pioneer legal, which Pioneer is just Return to Ravnica, Gate Crash, Dragon's Maze, M14, Pharos, Journey to Nits, Born of the Gods, M15, Cans of Tarkir, Fate Reforged, Magic Origins, Dragons of Tarkir, Battle for Zendikar, Oath of the Gatewatch, Shadows of Innistrad, Eldritch Moon, Kadesh, Ava Revolt, Amonkhet, Hour of Devastation, and anything that, and literally all the historic sets. So yeah, it's like historic but a bit further. Like it goes in, like it's like Frontier but further. And the only ban list, or well, yeah, not the only ban list. Like when it first came out, they banned fetch lands, but now they banned more cards from Pioneer. They banned Kitten Combo, both cards I think. Oath of Nisa, which I don't know why they banned it. It didn't make sense, and just a third card. They banned a third card. I don't remember what it was. That's one. So we got another fast creature in there, like Goblin Guide. So there's only two fast creatures, both play on play sets. So it's 4 copies of Monastery Swift Spear. Monastery Swift Spear is 1 red, 1/2 human monk with haste and prowess. They could be found easily in Counts of Tarkir boosters, Iconic Masters boosters, and Mystery boosters. For some awkward reason, they're quite expensive. What for their rarity? Not expensive really, but they're they have a price tag, yeah. In paper, it's actually $2.50. $2.50. And foil multipliers at 5.58. So have foil. If you have a foil of those, you're actually lucky because it's quite expensive, and usually it's just, and normal is, even then it's expensive. I have like 6 of those. No wait, 6 of those? Yes, I do have 6 of those. Like 4 from Khans of Tarkir, 1 from which I managed to open from boosters. I think, yeah. Oh yeah, 4 English ones. Yeah, I have 1 Iconic Masters, 1 which I also opened from a booster, and 1 Japanese Khans of Tarkir one from a booster. So yeah, at least I recovered value from that Japanese Khans of Tarkir booster. But yeah, Monsters with Spears just plain power. It's 1 red, 1/2 human monk, haste and prowess. So prowess can get really out of hand. Like it's really good, and yeah, and just boosts its power and toughness when you cast those burn spells, and yeah, it's really good. But if you have Monsters with Spear and Goblin Guide and Opening Hand, which is this one, cast Goblin Guide, because you can most probably deal more damage with Goblin Guide on just first turn. Yeah, it does more damage on first turn and continuously does more damage usually. Because Monastery Swift Spear rarely gets her prowess above 3. So on average, Goblin Guide deals more damage than Monastery Swift Spear. Goblin Guide, yes, it does have a flaw. Monastery Swift Spear is flawless, but Goblin Guide, sometimes it can turn out good. Otherwise, it can turn out bad. And Monsters with Spear is riskless. But, yeah. But Goblin Guide, even if the opponent gets landed, it's not something you should really worry about. Unless they really needed it. Card 10. And we got our familiar lands, 20 basic mountains. So yeah, that's just the land base. There's no non-basics in the deck because of Pop and Wastelands. So yeah, also playing fetch lands is pointless. So don't do that. Don't play fetch lands in Legacy Burn. It's pointless. Also, the one I like is the one with no non-basics. Some were running Barbarian Rings to deal damage to the opponent. And others were just running stuff like, I don't know what other stuff. I don't know, yeah. Now I know. No, never mind. Just some run Barbarian Rings. But playing Barbarian Ring isn't really that effective. Like, Barbarian Ring is, by the way, in case if you did not know what Barbarian Ring is, it's a land, tap, pay 1 life, add red. Threshold, red, tap, sacrifice, deals 2 damage to any target. So it can be an emergency burn spell, but only if you have 7 or more cards in your graveyard, which you can get easily, but it's only as an emergency burn spell. And the thing is that has 2 flaws. Well, 3 flaws actually. So it hits you when you use it. So you take damage when you use it. It can also get destroyed by a wasteland, and hits you when you play Pop, because Pop hits each player. So if you're running Pops, then which of course you are, just don't run non-basics. And yeah, there were some that were running 1 Sunbaked Canyon, but it's not really useful. Some were playing Caracas in the sideboard to bounce those legendary stuff, but it's pointless as well. Also, what are you doing with that white mana anyway? Like, there's only a few cards that don't require red. Like, for example, you could do white mana for Edgesequist, Pop, Hardcasting Riftbolt, Hardcasting Fireblast, and Sulfuric Vortex. Which, by the way, Hardcasting Riftbolt and Fireblast are stuff you usually never do. I don't know the rest, but yeah, you know. Also then, that's our main board. It's sideboard time now. We'll be right back. We're back for our sideboard time. And yep. Oh. There we go. Sideboard time. So we're going to be talking about, we talked about all 60 cards in our main deck. Now we're talking about our 15 cards in our sideboard. And yes. Also, I don't understand people who play sets of cards in sideboards. Like, it's pointless. Well, of course, your first card in the sideboard is Sulfuric Vortex. I explained earlier, so you get the point. But now, we're talking about the rest of the cards in the sideboard. So we talked about 1 sideboard card right now for the rest of the 14. Let's go! This card is quite risky, and it won't always work. It's only good against those show and tell decks. Ashen Rider is 4, 2 white, 2 black, 5/5 Archon with flying. When it's battlefield or dies, it's out of a permanent. You don't pay that mana cost. You only play this when your opponent's playing show and tell. So you have a big thing when they're playing the show and tell. And on top of that, it can disrupt what they put with show and tell. Because with Ashen Rider, so they first drop the creature. So they drop, the permanent, they drop Grizzlebrand, Omniscience, or Emrakul, and then you do Ashen Rider, exiling that thing. The thing is that Emrakul's protection from colored spells, not colored abilities, so Ashen Rider can stop that kind of things, the Emrakul stuff. So yeah, Ashen Rider, and also when Ashen Rider dies, you can exile something extra on top of that. So it can also serve. It also serves as a 5/5 flyer, which is good. Also can serve as a blocker for Grizzlebrand when they do sneak attack. Like if they did show and tell earlier and they didn't go well with it, they're always going to cast sneak attack later on and then just sneak attack something. So then they just sneak attack Emrakul, for example. Attack, so you can sacrifice it to the Annihilator effect. Exile it, exile Emrakul, or just exile the sneak attack. Probably best to sacrifice its other stuff, block with Ashen Rider, and exile, and just exile a sneak attack to stop all those sneak attacks from happening. Yeah. Sneak attack's quite annoying, but Ashen Rider just deals with that problem. So yeah, your opening hand should try have Ashen Rider in your opening hand. So when they play show and tell, you drop it easily. There's only one copy in there, so it can be hard to find. But next card. And yeah, pop it, and it's all gone. The graveyard is gone with one touch. The Tormod script is gone. So yeah, one copy of Tormod script, 0 mana, which is quite useful because you don't have to spend mana. So even on top of that, if you play Monastery Swiftspear on first turn, play Tormod script, that triggers prowess because that's a non-creature spell. So Tormod script just works. And so yeah, Tormod script is 0 mana artifact, tap, stack, exile all cards from entire player's graveyard. So it can function as a warning to the opponents to not do their graveyard stuff. And yeah, on top of that, Tormod script is even then you can just exile their graveyard whenever you want to, and not just that, but if they try to destroy it in response, exile their graveyard, and you did what you wanted to do. And yeah, ruins dredge decks, reanimator decks, and yeah, you know the rest, graveyard decks. And yeah, Tormod script is quite good. That's one. One card, 2 purposes. And you're like, wait, what? Literally. So, small removal, or bounce the big creatures. Small removal as in kill the small creatures, or just bounce the big creatures. Dead and gone. 2 copies in the sideboard. So yeah, dead is 1 red instant deals 2 damage to target creature. Gone is 2 and a red instant return target creature you don't control to its owner's hand. So gone can be an expensive unsummon, but it's red and cannot be deflected onto your creature. Also, dead can function as an easy removal. Gone is mainly the reason why you're playing dead and gone, or dead/gone. So the official name is dead//gone, but people just go like dead and gone or dead gone, or 97% gone, because 97% of times you're using gone. Other times you're using dead, but it's rare those cases when you're using dead. And yeah, gone's quite good because for example, you can kill Merit Lage token, bounce Grizzlebrand, so they have to do the painful process of show and tell or sneak attack again, or you can bounce. Oh, hello, Alberto. How are you? Thanks for wishing me luck in the GP. And yeah. And gone is also good because yeah, you know the rest. Gone is just really good. Dead, not so much, but the thing is that since that existed before Fuse, well, yeah, not necessarily the reason. You can't fuse because there's a difference between split cards, yeah, and fuse split cards, because there's split cards, which are cards that have 2 sides and you can cast one or the other. But then in Return to Ravnica or Dragon's Maze, yeah, I think it was just Dragon's Maze, they brought back those split cards, but had the mechanic fuse, meaning you could cast one or both of those. But dead is just but the ones, the split ones, the original ones from Invasion, ones from Planar Chaos, Time Spiral, Time Shifted, and the original Ravnica ones, they couldn't split. They couldn't fuse. They were split. Then in Dragon's Maze they made fuse, and then in Guilds of Ravnica they brought back the split mechanic but without the fuse mechanic, which is quite annoying. Yeah. See there? Don't fuse, because you can't do that with Dead and Gone. Next one. So this can be a mini rip, mini rest in peace, because rest in peace is white and you can't play that in Legacy Burn deck. Well, you can do it if you're running Caracas in the sideboard, or running a Sunbait Canyon, which, by the way, you shouldn't do that. You could just splash the white. Like, how do you use the white? Splash the white to do rest in peace, but it's not a good idea. You usually use Giraffe Digger's Cage, 1 copy, as a mini rest in peace. Also Graveyard Hate. So it's 1 mana artifact. Creatures in graveyards and libraries can't enter battlefields, which is good because since it says libraries, that disables Green Sun Zenith and Finale of Devastation. And players can't cast spells from graveyards or libraries. The library thing is not really important. It's mainly just the graveyard part. This card is mainly it's usually for graveyards, but it can affect Green Sun Zenith. It's always good. They can smash it, but it'll be hard. Yeah. Draft Digger's Cage is a direct body effect of anti-graveyard. This is just pop it off and graveyard is gone. Yeah, that's different. That's the difference. Next card. So yeah, this is artifact removal. So if your opponent is playing artifacts, you can use. So you have 2 copies of those, so you can use that to play Smash to Smithereens. So 2 mana instant, you destroy their artifacts and hit 3 to the controller. The reason why it uses Smash to Smithereens and not Smash, because Smash to Smithereens, it's 2 mana only and deals 3 damage to the controller. Smash is 3 mana, draws you card, doesn't deal damage. So Smash replaces itself. You usually get a bolt, but Smash to Smithereens is cheaper and directly does the damage, which is different. Yeah. That's why Smash to Smithereens is played and not Smash itself. Yeah. Yeah. Always Smash to Smithereens, it's good. Smelt is not really good because Smelt, yes, it's 1 mana, but doesn't deal damage to controller. There is this one which is 1 and fuse, 1 and hybrid red or white to exile an artifact, but the thing is that it doesn't deal damage. Also, and exile doesn't really matter, I think. And on top of that, playing Ember of Shieldbreaker Battle Displayed isn't really effective because 1 mana artifact removal sorcery. Yeah. Well, yeah, Smelt is instant speed as well. But yeah, 1 mana sorcery artifact removal is not really that effective. But you can later on cast as a 2 mana 2/1, but that's below average and it's not as effective as 3 damage to the controller. And yeah. Also, playing Reckless Airstrike, yes, sorcery artifact removal, which also has the choice for 1 mana, also has the choice to deal 3 damage to creature flying, but it's not important, it's not significant. It's not like you're going to do that mode. So that's why Smash to Smithereens is the one that's played. Next one. And we got the Ensnaring Bridge. 2 copies of what I call Show Don't Tell, because it counters Show and Tell decks and Reanimator decks, Hogak Dredge decks as well. And yeah, I like the pun in the flavor text because when I said I needed a hand, I didn't mean this, which is the hand there. You see? Also, the thing is that the older flavor text was, this bridge doesn't get you from one point to another. This bridge just gets you. Yes, you won't be able to attack, or rarely attack, but the thing is that it just prevents a lot of damage from being dealt, and Ensnaring Bridge is always a good card to run, because you always empty out your hand. Yeah. Also, Ensnaring Bridge is just, it's just always good to have, and yeah. And I like playing this card. It just gives me the control of the match, because they won't be able to attack me, and yeah. And I can just continuously throw bolts at them while they figure out how to destroy Ensnaring Bridge. Next one. So, another way of stopping Merit Lage is, instead of stopping it, which is with Gone, you can prevent Merit Lage. 2 copies of Alpine Moon instead of Blood Moon, because Blood Moon's 3 mana. Alpine Moon's a 1-turn, turn 1-able. And yeah, enchantment, as it enters the battlefield, choose a non-basic land card name. So you just name Dark Depths, and lands your opponent's control with the chosen name, lose all land types and abilities, and they gain tap, add 1 mana of any color. And yeah. So yes, it's still a legendary snow land. Doesn't have its abilities, it just taps for any color. And the thing is that it taps for snow, any color, so. But it's not significant in a lands deck. And yeah, Alpine Moon is always good. And also the thing is that if they use, they can't use that vampire that removes the counters. I don't remember her name of the card. Yeah, because that won't work. Also, using Thespian Stage won't work, because Thespian Stage will be copying a textless Dark Depths. Textless, not really. Well, taps for any color, which is the only different thing. Alpine Moon is always good against those land decks. Yeah. Next card, number 2. Well, not really number 2, but you know what I mean. It's the second last card in this podcast. Yeah. And we got a simple, quick removal. Just like Dead, but different. It's Searing Blood. 2 red, instant, deals 2 damage to target creature. When it dies this turn, deals 3 damage to its controller. And listen to me. This is much better than Searing Blaze, because Searing Blaze, you have to rely on land drops, and it's not really good when relying on land drops, and yeah. Just remember that. Yeah. You run 2 copies only in sideboard. It's useful for killing those small creatures and dealing 3 damage to your controller. Searing Blaze isn't effective because you have to rely on land drops. It does more damage to a creature and assures damage to the face, but the thing is that but the flaw is it targets the player first. It targets the player, so Searing Blood doesn't target player, so it can bypass Leyline of Sanctity. Yeah, it's good. But final card in this podcast.
Render forest.
this is what we call our 5th Eidolon. 1 copy. Yeah, since I run 4 Eidolons in there, and you can't run more, we just have 1 copy of Parastatic Pillar in our sideboard as the 5th Eidolon, in case if that's necessary. 2 mana enchantment, Eidolon effect. It's literally, Parastatic Pillar is literally just Eidolon of the Great Revel, but not a creature. And replacing the insignificant red mana with a colorless mana. All your mana in the deck is red, so that cost swap is not significant. The thing is that Parastatic Pillar is immune to creature removals, which is different. But Parastatic Pillar can't block, can't attack, so it's less aggressive, and you can't kill it whenever you just want to. Like it's nearly unstoppable. So you know what I mean. So you rarely can kill it. Like Eidolon can just be stopped because you can just throw it at your opponent, hoping for them to block, and if they block, it's dead, and you can do your fun stuff without taking damage. If they don't block, well, they take 2 damage for not blocking, and yeah, and more damage dealt, which is good. Yeah, Parastatic Pillar is always good to have. And yeah, that's our legacy deck for you. And yeah, it's good. So yeah, you reached the end of this podcast. So guess what? Christmas logo is returning to channel. See? So you see, it's back there only for this video. So yeah, December the 1st, I'm changing the channel logo back to the original Christmas one, which was for 2018. From December to February. And yeah. And also new intro and outro will be coming out for Christmas. But yeah, since you reached the end of this video, why don't you like and subscribe and follow if you haven't already, and share with friends. Just stay tuned to next videos, streams, podcasts. Podcasts like this one will be live every Tuesday, except for next podcast, which will just be a regular recorded podcast. Well, not regular, like a recorded podcast, because since I'm going to be in Italy and the Wi-Fi connection will be bad, it won't be effective to stream. So I'm just going to just upload it on YouTube. But remember, 4 p.m. GMT every Tuesday. Stay tuned to those podcasts. Yeah, because the thing is that next podcast that will release at 4 p.m. GMT, but mainly the live podcasts will be at 4:30 GMT because of the late timing schedule I have. But if I'm off, then it's 4 p.m. GMT stream, or if I have to upload, or if I'm on holiday, it's just 4 p.m. GMT, the video is going to get uploaded. Just remember to stay tuned at that time, always for a podcast. Whether it's live or not, always stay tuned to those podcasts. Stay tuned to the other streams as well. Stay tuned to next videos. Watch my videos. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And bye.